I'm on my way.
Okay, let me just I'll send you this open with. Right. No, not so much. Not so much. Good. Good. You fucking hate words like that, don't you? When I felt the need to put the weight jacker on, I did so because I was I got the turn into turn one okay, so I was all right on entrance, but then sort of like struggled to hit the I struggled to hit the apex, and then was drifting wide at turn one, and then I had a little moment with the back end trying to come round on the exit of turn three, but when I went +4 weight.
Was that because you was on the steering wheel?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I went +4 on a weight jacker on about lap 13, and I think I went +6 on the weight jacker at around about 25, 26, something like that. So I don't know if you're writing that down, if you want to make a note of that, but that was pretty much where I found it. I mean, that will vary. Fine, let me just save this, save that. Yeah, I mean, the only other, yeah. I tell you what I've noticed is we got, why is that not done? That it didn't do that earlier. The drag and drop thing wasn't working on the screenshots. This is what's changed. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to find the screenshot. Screenshot 8.
I have the option to be picky with the camera, Chris. I prefer to see the car from behind. I just said that if I have the option to be picky with the camera, can you put it on the far rear camera and change it so I can see it level to the car? No, I want you to go to the far chase camera. I think it is where I see it from. I see the entire car from behind. That one, yes. And no, I want to see it from the rear end. So if you go to the value that is on 2 and lower that, maybe put it on 1.5 or something like that, maybe. The one that is on the top right. That one, yeah. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That is too much. Up a little bit. Stop. Perfect. No, that's perfect.
I mean, the only thing with the setup, I would say, Chris, is the ARBs are both at 6 and 6. No. So I don't know what would happen if we went 3 and 3. I'm doing it now.
you will loosen up the car, allow it to rotate a bit more,
Okay.
and that will give you more rotation into the car and less pressure on the tires, so you will save the tires a little bit, because what is killing the tire is high anti-roll bar setting, stiff anti-roll bars, and stiff suspension. That kills the tire.
Okay.
So you have nothing to lose to try it at least to soften up the anti-roll bar.
Okay. Just, I mean, I've driven the car before in races, Marcus, where I've had a little bit of like front wing damage, and I've been able to bring the car back to me by adjusting like the front anti-roll bars.
Yeah.
But if they both sit on 6, there's no room for manoeuvre at all.
No, but it also, you can adjust the anti-roll bar in the car, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but during the stint, you normally go lower to try to increase the grip when the tires start to go off.
Okay.
That's why many of them starting with the higher setting, so they have a couple of clicks to go down when they need it, to increase the grip later
Okay.
on in the stint.
Okay. I mean, I've always, now, I'm more than happy for you to tell me I'm wrong, Marcus, but I've always tended to rely on the weight jacker. But if I can get more grip out of by starting with anti-roll bars on 6 and then having a bit more room to play with,
Yeah,
because I believe that would probably cause less stress on
that
the
will
tires.
cause less stress on the tires. With the jackers, it will be the opposite, because what you are doing with the jackers, if I understand it correctly, is you put more weight to that tire pad, to that axle, and that increase the tire wear. You get a little bit more grip because you have a higher pressure on that axle, but it will wear down the tires more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it will take way better if you lower the anti-roll bar.
Okay. So I'll have another run. I'll leave the weight jacker on 0.
Yeah.
All right.
The
See if I can mess around with the ARBs.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, Rob Cuss has just sent me another setup.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I have no clue about this car when it's come to uh, uh, I mean, at the moment, I'm talking quite basic stuff when you set up a car in general, not particularly oval car.
Marcus, your help is much appreciated, mate. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But I also know that you have in this car, the splitter and stuff like that is crazy sensitive in this car compared to a road car, for example. Especially on the street stock car, because in an ordinary road car you can't adjust the angle of the splitter. It's fixed. You can only raise or lower the front and the splitter will follow with that. But on the street stock cars you can play around with the front so much so you can actually affect the angle of the splitter, and you are forced to get the splitter horizontal with the ground all the time, and that's why that car is a bitch to set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Shall I have a little spin?
Yeah, try. Do you have any diffs you can play around with in this car.
Not in the car, no. So my in-car settings, brake pressure, IRB,
Yeah.
weight jacker, and the engine map, and that's it.
Okay. In what I would play around with is brake bias to start with, get the car to brake so I don't kill the tires when I'm braking, but I can also affect the rotation of the car into the corner when I'm braking.
Yeah, there's no need for the brakes around here at all, Marcus. Don't touch them.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. But um, sometimes it's actually good just to tune it in so you know that if you are forced to put your foot on the brake in panic, you're not going to kill you.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair point. Good point.
Because otherwise you're going to spin like crazy when
Yeah, of
they're
course.
starting to crash around you and you are forced to brake. Yeah, that is perfect. That is perfect.
Marcus is a little bit quiet in my ears, Chris, so if he says something I don't answer, you might need to repeat.
At the moment, what I see immediately is the front is turning more than the rear, so you're scrubbing up the front tires too much.
Front what?
Yeah, it's too aggressive in the front, so you
Okay.
the rear is not pushing the car, but you get it's not actually understeer. What you get is oversteer in the front, and that's scrubbing up the tires. You will kill the tires. It's the same effect on the tires as understeer, but it's caused by oversteer instead. Yeah, it's too soft in the front, so it's too aggressive in the front. So
What did we change? I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're still on 6s.
Are they?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
What were we? No, all I was going to do is I was going to run at 6s and then try and adjust the IRBs instead of the weight jacker, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, take them down to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Because if this is what's going on with the car when you have them on 6, I can understand why your tires don't last the entire stint.
Okay, so I've gone 3 on the front, 3 on the rear.
Try to put the front on 4.
Yeah, done that.
And tell me if that's better. are you sensitive to steering input? You're going crazy if the steering wheel is not 100% straight on the straights.
What was that, Chris? Sorry. No, yeah, I'm fine with it as it is. No problem.
Because the steering input in the front, or the how the car reacts, is way too aggressive. Way too aggressive. You can get away with less steering input and less pressure on the front, because at the moment the front is dragging the rear around like crazy, instead of having a balanced car. This is the opposite compared to what we had in the LMP yesterday. Yeah, because the rear isn't follow the front, but it's not because of understeer. This is because of the front is oversteering. So the front is too aggressive. Yeah, but this is too much. This is too much. And okay, yeah. Because what I see now is, what I would like to do is stiffen up the front a little bit to get back a tiny little bit of understeer. Yeah.
Front rower.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be.
Yeah, done.
Way better. Do you see it as well, Chris? How the front is reacting? Yeah. Much better. Because now the entire car is rotating. It's just not the front coming first and then the rear is more or less dragged around to try to keep up with the front.
Oh, yeah, still feels nice, mate. Nice. Yeah, I'm not struggling as much to get it. I don't feel like I'm struggling to get it into the apex as much.
No, and you not need to crank the steering wheel as crazy as well. The car is more or less starting to seek to go into the apex when the banking is starting. I know it's not much banking, but what you should try to do,
Yeah.
yeah, a tiny bit of understeer. What you should try to do is to get the car to follow that bank around the corner. So when the track is start the banking, that pushing the car down to the apex, or into the apex, not down. And one way of doing that is to increase the outside front tire, the camber on the front tire, increasing that so it's leaning into the corner more, and you're putting the front inside tire as, instead of increasing the camber, you're decreasing the camber. You're straightening up the front tires and you're leaning it into the corner. That way, Yeah.
So when I start to get understeer on the exit of these corners, what do you want me to do? Bring the front roll bar down to 4 again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than using the weight jacker?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So you already have a camber that is leaning the inside tire into the corner, and as well as the outside tire into the corner, but maybe you need 1 or 2 clicks more from both the tires. So put the left front on 176 or whatever you can. 1 more click on the positive side. Yeah, that way, right? And the right side, increase the negative number 1 click. Yeah, good.
And Chris, sorry, what was Marcus saying about the steering inputs? Okay, before that?
Before that is what we want you, or what we are trying to do, is to minimize the steering input you need to do to get the car to turn.
Okay, sorry, I thought you said that I thought you were saying I needed to minimize my inputs.
Yeah, but we can.
Sorry, mate. What did you say, Chris? Sorry. Yeah, a little wobble, that one. Yeah. Okay, so it's starting to get a little bit loose on the exits now.
Okay. Loose on the exit. Try. Lower it 1 click.
Front.
Rear. Lower the rear 1 click. Put it on 2.
You know, sorry, I'm understeering on exit. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I see that.
So rear anti-roll bar down.
Yeah, down 1 click.
Done.
Yeah.
5 and 2. Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah. To play around with the anti-roll bars, the front is for.
Nah, that was a shit line. Yeah, I missed the apex totally.
The front anti-roll bar is for corner entry if you are understeer or oversteer. The rear anti-roll bar is for corner exit. That's how you play it.
Okay.
And if the entire car is understeering or oversteering in the entire corner, you adjust both anti-roll bars at the same time to stiffer or softer depending on what the car is doing. And
Okay.
stiffer give you understeer, softer give you oversteer.
Yeah, I might take the front down one.
Yeah.
Struggling to get it in since I changed that
Yeah.
IRB rear.
Yeah. How many laps are you supposed to do in a stint?
29 the first one, Chris.
29. Okay. And how many? Okay, so 9 more laps, and you have at least 2 more clicks to play around with anti-roll bars. Yeah.
This one should be better. Yeah, just was struggling a little bit. But yeah, it's come back. Since we changed it, it's come back.
So what you need to do, I think you already have a hint of it or something, is to really keep track on when you need to and where you need to adjust anti-roll bar, just like you did with the jackers earlier. I saw that on the Discord that you said you need to do it on the back straight and stuff like that. It's just exactly the same with anti-roll bars. Can you tell me when you stop what the tire pressure looks like? And
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can tell the whole story about what's going on with the car just by looking on the tires. I could probably talk about that for a couple of hours with you, Chris, if you want to. What you can see in the tires. Yeah, yeah, I can imagine that. You're overdriving the car a little bit at the moment, Mark.
Okay. So struggling a bit mid-corner.
Yeah, I see that, and that is causing you to be a little bit too aggressive with this car, because this bloody car is so sensitive. So what you want to try to do is the car to drive itself, using the track as much as possible to minimize the inputs you need to do in the car. If you can do that, you have probably the perfect setup, because not 100% perfect, but it's gonna last probably the entire stint for you. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay.
Let me take this screenshot for you guys.
Uh,
with the anti-roll bar.
No, that's a learning curve. In all fairness, I've always relied on the weight jackers, but now Marcus has explained obviously the difference. You know, turn in using the fronts and exit using the rears. That's yeah, that makes using the anti-roll bars more understandable.
yeah. Yeah. And if the entire car starts to feel understeer into the entire corner, you adjust both anti-roll bar at the same time. That's probably the biggest difference compared to the jackers. Because the jackers, you play them individually one by one. I imagine you more or less never adjust them on the both front and rear jackers at the same time.
Yeah, there's only a weight jacker on the right rear.
Okay. That is because you want to push that rear tire. You want to increase that or give it a little bit more grip, so the car rotates a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you can start to learn to do that by adjusting the tire pressure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Laps every time.
Mate, yeah, it's time consuming, isn't it? I know. I mean, I can do 10 and we can pull over and we can look at. I'd have some idea. Basically, if it starts messing about by 10, then it's a bag of shit, isn't it? Let's face it.
Yeah. So you have an understanding for how many laps you need to do before the car starts to go to shite.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. That is.
That's not okay. That's like 12 or 15 laps really before it starts to not feel great. Like I say, it's time, innit? I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. Because what I want you to start to do, Mark, is don't turn the steering wheel to get into the corner. Try to feel how much the car wants to turn in by itself when you start to come into the banking into the corner. So don't force it if you don't need to, because that is an indication of if the car is understeer or oversteer, because you want to minimize your steering input.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that will save especially the front tires if you can do that.
So we go in 6 and 6 for the eye up with the roll bars.
Yeah. Start with that and see if that.
No, we didn't do that, did we?
No.
Marcus, well, basically, what Marcus has said is by bringing it down as the race goes on, which seems to work in all.
Yeah. You can always adjust it for to have it on maybe start at maybe 5 or something like that if you feel that you want a little bit softer or something like that. But you also need to have them as high as you need to be able to complete the entire stint if you can't set up the car in another way, so you can start with lower anti-roll bar, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So we obviously need them as high as we can.
Yeah, exactly.
For as long as we can. If I start coming down on them too quick, I'm going to have nothing left at the end of the stint either, am I?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because the only option you're gonna have then is the weight jacker, and that's gonna kill you when you start to use that one.
Yeah, roger that. Mr. Gently Gently Fingers, here we come.
Yeah. You can, Chris, you can also play around with different ride heights and different spring settings in the car to get it to lean into the corner and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you need to use every trick in the book you can come up with. That's for sure. Because the fast guys know them all. But he needs to practice a little bit more. He's not consistent enough. I'm just kidding. I was playing around with a street stock car, jumped in with a friend in that car because he was rookie license. After I haven't touched that car for nearly 1.5 years, and my lap time after 5 laps was down to 1,000 difference in consistency. No, me neither. I did it just to get rid of the rookie license. So I think I actually have a C license or something like that. After that, I stopped because the setups was so ugly. Why is he scrubbing the wall so much? Is it because the car is understeering on exit?
No, feels good.
Okay, then it's probably just lag or something because it.
I'm trying to ease off my inputs.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to let it run out to the wall a little bit and just have a little bit less input.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because that will also give you a little bit better understanding for the total balance of the car, if it's overall understeer or oversteer and stuff like that. The front is still a little bit too aggressive on turning. Yeah, yeah. Are you watching the car in the same camera, Chris? From the rear. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I noticed that, so I turned off the sound of the streaming. looks like the first lap was a little bit slower, but the rest of the lap is actually faster compared to the stints before he did, right? Yeah. Yeah. The starting lap is a little bit slower, but the other laps is actually a little bit quicker. Yeah. Because he's been pretty consistent on 0.6s after the first lap. Yeah. That's good. 611, 608, that is what I like. Those numbers I like. That's really good. Starter looks good. Looks like he has found a rhythm that he's comfortable with. No, it's not killing him. And he also starting to drive the car a little bit better with a more gentle hand. Yeah, he's very consistent. Yeah, he's very consistent at the moment. Really like that. Good job, Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had all of it. You know I'm fairly consistent, Mr. Cash.
Yeah, but you're more consistent now. The difference is in between 5,000 of a second, I think it will be, right? Yeah. Yeah. And that means that the car is pretty stable at the moment. And you can start doing those laps like that.
I've just taken both IRBs down one.
Yeah. You did the first adjustment after 8, 9 laps? Or what is it? Oh, it's more. 12. Okay, that's good.
How many, Chris?
12.
Okay.
I would like to see that a couple of more laps before you need to do it actually. But that could mean that we need to loosen up the car a little bit too much.
Bit of both, really. Struggling to get into an exit, struggling to get into the apex on 2, and then nearly hitting the wall here on the exit.
Yeah. What we should do is starting to look into, you should actually look into Motec and see what the tires are doing. Because I think that he has a little bit of peak in the tires around 12 laps before they starting to drop off again. I have noticed that on the roadside that the tires get the peak around something between 8 and 12 laps, and that peak lasts for 2 laps roughly, And if you overdriving the car just a tiny, tiny little bit during those 2 laps, you're gonna kill the tires. And I will be surprised if they don't have the same issue with these tires on the oval side. And we should look into Motec to see if it is like that. That means when he get to that peak, and we need to find that peak, and I imagine that will happen around lap maybe 11 or 12, means he needs to back off a tiny little bit during those 2 laps instead of increasing the anti-roll bar. And I imagine, yeah,
Scrappy. Fucking
Yeah.
Scrappy. No, it's not been the same.
no. So was it better or worse before?
What, the car? Yeah, no, I think it felt more, a little bit more stable all round. Turn in was better, and I didn't feel the need to. I didn't think we jumped on the weight jacker quite, or not on the weight jacker, on the ARBs quite so quickly, did we?
No. You were down, you adjusted it for the first time at lap 12. I don't know when you started the stint before.
No, that's good. Well, that was one click, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. But I just told Chris that on the roadside with the tire model we have now, you have a peak in the pressure for somewhere between 8 and 12 laps, depending on the track and how much pressure you're putting onto the tires. The more pressure from the driver, what I mean with pressure is you stressing the tires more, it will happen faster, but it happens in the gap sometimes between 7 and 12 laps. Then you
Okay.
have a peak when the tire pressure increases roughly uh, one a half psi or one or two kPa, and that peak is enough to kill the tires if you keep doing what you did until that peak happens. So if you know where that peak is for you, you can back off, and you only need to back off maybe 1 or 2 tenths during 1 or 2 laps, because depending on how long that peak is, uh, instead of actually starting to increase the anti-roll bar and getting more stress into the tires. So
Yeah.
if you can find that peak, and you will find that peak because you feel that all of a sudden the car losing grip, and it's like a light bulb is snapping with your fingers when that happens.
Yeah, that was about 10 and a half, 11 that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. And yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just to let you guys know, on my tyre pressures,
Yeah.
my last top pressures were exactly the same as the last lot that I shared with you, Chris.
Okay.
There's no difference in my last hot tyre pressures.
Okay.
Tyre wear, my tyre wear is irrelevant in it because it was a short stint. But tyre pressures were exactly the same.
Okay. Okay, that's good. And, yeah, yeah, I can see them. Six, eight. Sorry. Why have you, if you look on the rear and you'll compare the left and the right side, the left side overall is lower than the right side, except from the high speed compression.
Except for the high speed rebound.
The compression is they are stiffer, but sorry, the rebound. Yes, the rebound. Sorry. You're right. My mistake. The rebound. They are stiffer on the left side, except for the rebound, compared to the right side. So it's on the rear as well. Yeah. Yeah. And is that something you have done? Okay. I can't really understand why they have done that, but I'm not an expert on the oval side. I just noticed the difference. But I also somehow can understand. Can you look at the tire temperature between the left and right side? Can you compare, see if there is a difference in tire temp from the left to the right side?
Oh, massive. Yeah. Which one, of the full run or of this run?
The full run will be better because you said it was.
Yeah, if you've got it there, Chris, on your Discord to do it.
So the only reason for me why you're doing that is to get a little bit more feedback from the car, I think, but also to save tires. That's the only reason, because rebound is, if you have too much rebound or it's too loose, it will kill the tires.
Yeah, they're both.
I can see it on the tire wear if it's a full run or not. Because the tire wear should be.
Oh, I don't know what I've sent you there. You've got two, haven't you? You've got MC Race 1. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first run, Chris, the first one I sent you, I think, was before we started messing around with the ARBs, wasn't it?
Okay, so
I think, yeah, I think the first one was when I was messing around with weight jacker rather than ARB, and then
Okay.
the second one was when we were messing around with ARBs instead of the weight jacker.
Okay. So the first picture I got is based on the jacker instead of the anti-roll bars.
If you've got right rear wear on the outside edge of 62%,
Yeah,
that
it
picture
is.
there, I think that was weight jacker.
Okay.
And the next picture Chris has sent you was 71% wear. I think that was that full run that I did, adjusting the ARBs instead of the weight jacker.
Yeah. Because the main difference, what I see immediately, is you have 10% more or 10% less tire wear on the second picture on the outside rear tire.
Yeah.
And that is a huge improvement.
Yeah, I didn't think I did 29 laps. I think I did about 26 laps on that. So it's only 3 laps, which is not,
Yeah.
it's not going to account for 10% of wear, is it? So no, it's good.
No, so that is really good. And then on the inside, if we start with the inside, the difference between the front and the rear is only 1%. And that is really good. That is a really balanced car if you can have that after full stint. Normally you will have a difference up to maybe 10%. So this is really good. This is a really balanced car when it's come to the tire wear on the left side. The rear side, the right side is a little bit less, and I think that is why you're struggling with oversteer and understeer all of a sudden, because the difference is 9%.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and I think that is what we need to start look into, that kind of problem. So either we increase the pressure on the right, on the rear right, I think. What will happen if we increase the pressure on that? That will loosen up the exit, meaning you're gonna get a little bit more oversteer. You're gonna have you will get rid of the understeer.
Yeah.
So it could help, but the difference, if you look on the camber between the inside and the outside of the rear right tire, is way more than you have on the rest of the tires. So it could be an indication that we actually need to lower the camber a little bit on that side to prevent the car from maybe you will get a little bit less understeer from that. I'm not sure in this car, but the tire wear you get will tells me that it could be one of the problem, because if you look on the other tires, they are quite similar, especially the front tire. The right front tires is very, very good on the tire wear.
Yeah.
So
well, if you want to change it and send it, or I can change it with what.
I haven't say so much what we should do. I just saying what I see on the tires at the moment. Uh, yeah, no, yeah, no worries. Uh, for me, as I told Mark, for me, it looks like the right side is the biggest problem because you have the biggest difference on the front and right uh, side when it's come to tire wear and balance and stuff like that. So what I will try to do is increase the tire pressure on the right tire one click or maybe two clicks.
What, the right rear?
The right rear, yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I got 289.
yeah, start with that and see how it feels. You should be, I think you should get an understanding for what's going on with the car pretty quickly from that.
Okay, so I'm not sure how many laps we did in the last stint, but basically on the last stint, Marcus, I've got on the inside edge between front and rear, I've got a 5% difference. On the middle, front and rear, I've got a 5% difference, and on the outside edge, I've got a 2% difference. But obviously, that's only on a shorter stint.
Yeah.
So I've obviously been burning that rear tire up more as the stint has gone on.
Yeah.
Which has led to like the 9% difference between the two before. So
probably.
How many laps did we do last time, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I've taken that up to 289.
Yeah.
Tire pressure, and we'll give that a quick run, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, on the session.
Okay. And if that doesn't help you, put the tire pressure back to what it was, and we need to look into something else to try to balance out the tires a little bit. Yeah, they looked pretty decent. As I told you, the only thing that I was noticed was the difference on the rebound, and I can't figure that out why they have done that. Uh, it doesn't really. The only way they do that is probably trying to save the tires or get some kind of things going on with the car, but I'm not sure. I would really like to look into Motec to figure that out, but he should be. Everyone that is what I have seen on Discord so far is and a member of the cars is on the F3.
Yeah.
The first lap is roughly 2 tenths faster than what the first lap was in the stint before.
Come on, you beauty. Not quite into the fives yet, Chris.
He is consistent enough, so he should be able to feel one click difference on the rear tire, on the outside tire. He is a little bit faster compared to earlier, but he's not as consistent. And I start to think that is because he got a tiny bit of oversteer in the car all of a sudden instead of understeer. It's not much, but it's enough. Yeah, and I would probably think he should only go one click. But we wait and
It's already just starting to feel a little bit understeery into turn one.
yeah.
I just rubbed the wall there.
Yeah.
The entrance into 3, Chris.
Yeah.
So disregard this one, mate.
Can you guys get your head around tight and loose when they say the car is tight and the car is loose? Because I can never figure that out. For me, that is just pure bullshit. It's oversteer or understeer. It's not tight. Yeah, I know, but when they say the car is tight, if I understand that correctly, the car is pushing on the outside wall. It's trying to hit the outside wall, and that is for me understeer and right. And the loose car tried to get into the apex too much. Is that correct? Okay, then I have understand it correctly. And that is what I see in the car, but Mark describing understeer into turn 1. And that doesn't make sense to me. But as yeah, me too. The car looked more balanced with the lower pressure, but the car also behaved a little bit better with the higher pressure. I think that we should take it down one click. I think so.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. But how many laps?
Well, for the first time, I actually felt the need to change the rear ARB before I changed the front. So I was struggling on exit rather than struggling on entry.
Yeah, because you get it. Is it understeer on the exit you get, or is it oversteer?
No, it's understeer on it. So it's taking me towards a wall. So that's an understeer on the
Yeah,
exit.
that's understeer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that I think that is because we gave it one click too much pressure. Because if you look on those numbers, they are way more even compared to what they were before. Yeah, because you are on the right side of the car, on the front 91% and the rear is 90%. So the balance between the front and the rear is way more better now compared to what it was earlier.
Is it worth
Yeah.
adding?
No, because the car feels, or the difference between the inside and the outside of the tires is quite good. I mean, the front is perfect, 91% all over, and the outside is, for now, quite close. It's going to be a little bit more, but it's very close. So maybe we should decrease the front camber on the front tire one click, because we increase the pressure. So if you put the camber on the front to 183 or something like that, or whatever it will be.
On the front left.
On the front left, yes. Reduce that one click. $172, yes.
Yeah, when you press apply, it changes to 174, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you can look on the
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah, done that.
I think you should, based on the tire wear and the balance between the front and the rear, it's better with 2 clicks, but we compensate for that to keep those 2 clicks with adjusting the camber on the front, left front tires, 1 click. Yeah,
Okay.
leave it at that. And if that doesn't feel good, then put the pressure down 1 click and readjust the camber on the left front.
Right. Okay. So we're going to run out of time in this session. So if it's okay.
You will at least get a chance to see if it's better or worse compared to what it was earlier with that different camber settings.
Okay, so the RBs are both back on 6, just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely have the skills for being in the top, among the top drivers, based on his.
Third.
In top.
That was the top split broadcast race 2016.
Oh, cool. Cool. So you definitely have the skill, and I see that. I see it on the lap.
It's just getting the car.
Yeah, but no. It's you need some skill to keep that baby on the track. That's for sure. It's not that easy as it looks. I mean, everyone can do left turns race, but not with that consistency and with the lap times. That is very difficult.
You think this is good? You should see me around somewhere like Spa, Marcus. I can get all my lap times within 10 seconds of each other.
Yeah, I know. That's the difference between the oval and the roadside. It's much easier to set up the car for the roadside, but it's way more difficult to drive the bloody thing. But
there's a lot more thinking on the fly in ovals, especially if you're on your own.
Yeah, it is. And everything, when it happens way faster on the oval compared to roadside. I mean, on the roadside, you have a split seconds to react. On the oval side, when you're 30 cars with a gap that is less than half a centimeter between the cars, you can't react. You have no chance to do anything. And that is the beauty for me with the oval side. The action is so intense when it happens. Yeah, it is. And I didn't expect, so I expected them to be similar. What I wanted to know is if we can get rid of that tiny bit of understeer that you felt. The balance in the car, if it's better or worse. Because based on the tire data, what I saw, the balance is better with a higher pressure on the rear, but the car didn't really behave as good as it, how should I put it, the tire data looked better than the car actually behaved, if it makes sense. Yeah. And that is what I try to sort out now, to keep that good tire data, but get back to with the balancing of the car. And it looks better. The car looks more subtle, more balanced. It looks easier. if I'd say that way, if it makes sense to you, Chris. So sometimes I have a little bit difficult to describe what I see, so if you don't understand, please ask me. What the hell are you talking about? No, and it's not. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I think this is uh, definitely something I think he can maybe race with. Probably not the real race, but good enough to do the practice and the weekly race or something. Because if I understand it correctly, this is gonna go on all the way to the next weekend, right? Yeah, the
Yeah.
race is the weekend, but you still have the practice and you still have the short 50 runs you can do, right?
No, that was a test race, testing the servers.
Ah, okay, okay,
That was the idea behind that.
okay. So you don't gonna have any race until the real race is going on then?
No, I don't think there's any. There's no official this week.
Okay, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, okay. Try to do as much as you can so you get the feeling for what the car is doing in traffic, because it's gonna be different compared to what it's doing now when you just start to get into dirty air and stuff like that.
No, I was trying a different last, trying that outside line into one.
Oh, it looks good. The car still looks very balanced. So I think we have found the cure. Especially if instead of adjusting the brake bias when you start to losing grip around lap 10 and a half or 11 or 12 or something like that, ease off a little bit, back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if that helps you, because I think it is because of that peak in the tires. And you back off for 2 laps and see if you can go back again a little bit after 2 laps.
I think that'll be around about lap 10 or 11.
Yeah, something like that. And the car looks perfect so far. Very balanced.
No, yeah, it feels doesn't feel any worse for what we've done. When did I start losing the lap times before? About 18, wasn't it? Or was it about lap 12?
Lap 12. When you started to adjust stand roll bars, you starting.
And where are we now?
13, I think. So you have already done
Get
one
my head
more
down
lap.
on this. Yeah, I'm still on 6 and 6 at the moment, Chris.
Okay. This is, don't get me wrong, but this is pure love for me when I see things like this. A driver that actually do what you tell him to do, he's very consistent and he has a car that actually behaves, because he still haven't complained about understeer and stuff like that. So I think he's still on 6.6, right?
I've just taken it last lap and a half. I've taken it down to 4.6, and it's taken a big chunk out of the times.
Okay. But you have still done at least 3 more laps than you had done before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is an improvement.
So I've gone 4.6 now. We're halfway through the stint, Chris, and boom. What was that lap time? Okay.
Yeah.
It was a 6.14. So I've changed down to 4.6, and the last lap was a 6.14.
And you mean that is the fastest lap you have done now? Okay.
No, I like that. I like what we've done to that, guys.
Yeah.
And
It
I
looks good.
like the understanding with the ARBs as well.
Yeah, yeah. Because it really looks good. The car looks very balanced. There is no jerking around or anything like that. It's just behaves more or less perfectly so far.
No, I like that. Thank you. Have you got that saved, Chris?
And I really like the paint skin. Who have done that? Is it your Chris? Yeah, but I like the combination of the colors and stuff like that. I really, it's simple, but it stands out.
Yeah, so no, I like that, Chris. I think that's
Yeah, I really like it. It's very simple, but it stand out.
Good.
I still think the writing's the wrong way around on the top of the pod, though.
To change
But like you said, it's either set the car up or do the fucking paint job.
yeah, 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 yeah. But what I'm thinking, can you jump into the camera that is on the top of the car behind his head? Just a quickie, if you can.
Chase or roll bar?
Oh,
not
this
roll
one.
bar.
Do you see just below the mirrors? If you put pure on that spot and align it so you can read it from this camera, because I know they are using this camera quite a lot in the races when they are streaming and when they are broadcasting. Uh, that will give you a chance for actually see what you have put on there. Yeah, on the sideboard. Yeah, that is what I meant when I put it on Discord.
Have you saved that, Chris? Sorry. Good for that. It's kicked me out.
Okay, good.
Well, guys, thank you very much for your help.
Yeah, no worries. Just glad that I could help.